Hello friends, welcome to the chapter on our education and its existence. The biggest requirement for any industry is skilled workers, which are created through the educational system. The way the Indian education system is imparting knowledge to the students, unemployment is only increasing and most of the youth are forced to lead a struggling lifestyle. You will also be surprised after reading the kind of picture that this chapter is going to present in front of you. Without taking much of your time, we are going to start this chapter. Hamari, Shiksha, Evam, Uska, Astitva. It is the right of all of us to be educated, but the level of education should be specially in sync with our environment. Education plays an important role in the lives of all of us. Education is an integral part of our basic needs. But at present we do not know what should be the level of education. In today's modern era, arrangements for education are available in front of us, in which schools come at the main gate. Education departments have been specially established whose main task is to create a system that can become the foundation stone of the future. All of us take education according to our individual capacity and also try to prove its usefulness. We get to know how useful the education acquired can prove to be when we work towards our vocation. Through the schools, colleges and universities that impart education to us, we are only told that only an educated person can get happiness in his life. But generally this is not seen. The kind of education that our educational institutions provide us has become really baseless. Because education should always be the medium of imparting training in traditional values. A perfect example of which we get from nature. Every creation of our nature is operated in such a way that the environment of which the creature belongs, it is given education related to it. On the other hand, if we plant a cutting or seed of any tree, we get a plant of the same species. In the same way, a platform should be prepared for every human being to receive education. If a person is running a particular business for generations, then he should first impart his education. After this, it should be imparted modern technology. In such a way that projects should be coordinated with training. In every century there has been a change in the society in one way or the other. Change is a special law of nature. If we are not able to accept the change, then the direct reason for this is our education system and their style. Our education system should basically be developed in such a way that after a period of time, we can also use the professional form of our education. A special method of education was used in the Vedic period. Two types of platforms were used in this education system. First 4x4 stage and second 6x6 stage. Apart from this, a platform was also created for the general public, which was operated only with the help of these two platforms. The 6x6 platform was originally used for undergraduate students. The same 4x4 platform was used for postgraduate and research students. It used to be a style in which the head of the Gurukul looked after the research work of management and education as the chief teacher. In its next level, there were 4 acharyas, whose special task was to explain the method and rules of education to 4 students under them. A total of 16 people were formed at the postgraduate level, in addition to which there were a total of 17 teachers including the head teacher. This number specially used to determine and follow all the major rules of Gurukul. At the postgraduate level, each professor used to complete only 16 students with education and research work. Each acharya used to share his special educational qualification with the students. When the students learned this method completely, then after that they used to voluntarily choose another acharya. But he was also entrusted with the task of performing the main responsibility of the society. After this period, he also continued his education and also performed the responsibilities of the society. Special cooperation of this class was received in the students pursuing graduation. In the graduate education system, there was a delegation of a total of 36 professors whose objective was to acquire knowledge on 18 subjects, which were useful in different areas of the society. The Gurukul system specifically worked on such a system, in which each student was a recipient as well as a provider of education. The head teacher of Gurukul always used to inform his special Acharya Mandal about the special qualities of education. You might be really surprised if you turn your attention to the style of education. The initiation of education in each Gurukul was provided by the head Acharya. According to the number decided, the students were linked with their respective teachers. If the number of students was increasing, then a separate arrangement was made for them. The students who got Acharya, all of them had to start their course in the presence of the main Acharya for the initial 6 months. The special plan behind this was that their mind could be fully prepared for education. Major Acharya used to spend most of his time in research work, due to which his intellectual and spiritual power remained at the best level. Initially, during the time period of his education, he used to add the light of this intellectual force to the aura of the students. By doing this, all the students used to bind themselves completely with the rules of the Gurukul, and used to get the intellectual system with rituals. After this, each concerned Acharya used to start his subject with his own group. A total of 18 subjects were taught to the students. For this, the primary study of 17 subjects was provided by all the Acharyas. Complete education of one subject was imparted throughout the year. After this, realistic examination was conducted in the new year, in which the talent and skills of the students were tested. After this, the group of students was reunited by their teachers. That is, for the next year, all the students used to take their studies from another Acharya. This entire program ran for 17 years. After this, in the last year, all the students and teachers used to take a 6-month course under the guidance of the head teacher. After a total of 18 years of studies, all the Gurukul chief acharyas used to form a committee and plan for their further education according to the talents and skills of the students. In such a situation, 3 meritorious students were selected from each group, who were sent to a specific Gurukul for the next level of education. Along with Chin, the best student of each party was also sent with the same party. This head student along with 3 of his colleagues used to form part of the next plan with the head teacher for postgraduate education. For the next level of education, 3 students in 4x4 teams were trained to serve the society. And the prominent student was given a special opportunity to become an acharya. The most delightful thing about the Gurukul system was that every year when the parties changed with the acharyas, the students were also given the responsibility to teach the next year's admitted students. Students used to get admission in every Gurukul only after every 3 years, because in these 3 years, the special intellectual ability of the group receiving education had become strong in 2 subjects. This system used to run so smoothly. The student who could not become a part of the educational system was also provided the service of studying in the primary level Gurukul in the society. A small sample of this Gurukul system has been presented before you. We know that most of you reading this topic will either be surprised or dismiss it as a fantasy. But if the real purpose of education is not proved, then the initial level of our life goes in vain. Today, the training style of the modern era only motivates the students to choke on education. keeping them ignorant of its true meaning. In the Gurukul system, the head teacher or all other teachers did not take anything from the students as remuneration, because all these students used to give Shramdan during the training period. For example, farming, construction of buildings, construction of roads, maintenance of river or headovers, etc. They used to do this Shramdan only during the time period of their respective courses. The initial 9 months with education in Gurukul and the last 3 months by staying in the middle of the society under the protection of acharyas. In the Gurukul system, every student who had received education was called the jewel of that state. Like today, we consider gems as precious and supply a huge amount of money for them. In the same way, these students were given special remuneration by the rural system. Each of the Rajas, who originally served as the head of the 42 village systems, was responsible for supplying each of the economic objectives of the village system. In modern education, a teacher receives remuneration in the form of service charges, a little more than the minimum. This is the reason why he is not able to do any kind of research work. He only works to convey the words written in the books to the students. There is a saying that, where there is no essence there is no love. That is, the method in which no kind of juice is obtained, it cannot be loved. In the present modern system, students are thrown into a commercial furnace in the form of education. At the initial stage of education, a student imprints such an image on his mind, in which he has to study only because this tradition has been made. A subject is driven into his mind that, the better the education the better the way to earn money. When the same student gradually increases the level of his education and sees the condition of the educated people in the society, then his complete inclination towards education ends. He considers education only a field of appearances. If 100 students join the education system, only 20 of them make it to higher education. Out of 100 such students who get access to higher education, only 20 to 25 students find a way to earn their livelihood easily. In the Gurukul system, the way meritorious students were identified for the service of the society. In the same way, these meritorious students are also used by different institutions. But a very large section who have reached this far have to find their own way through personal struggle. They are forced to use their labor for a very small fee. The result, the birth of such a mentality, in which an indifferent attitude towards life accumulates in abundance. The kind of society that is being built in this system-rich mentality, very few people get it. A large section of society poor mentality at the same time, he is bound to live his life. This class forms about 80% of the society. Most of the schemes for this class also do not prove to be effective, because their mental condition is not strong enough to take advantage of the schemes. To understand this system, it becomes mandatory for us to understand the changing system of the market. In our next chapter, we will discuss this so that you can get benefit. Friends, the information that has been shared before you is only a summary. The economic condition of India was so strong that for almost 1,000 years, different robbers tried their best to hollow it out. Robbers do not belong to any state, community, or culture. Their special work is only to rob the people they need for the expansion of their party. They specially choose from those 15% people who are called intellectual class. This intellectual class could prepare an army for them from 80% class. You may find this thing funny to read, but it is the truth. Before ending the topic, I would like to put a very funny thing in front of you. The level of modern education has been made in such a way that every person is living his life considering struggle as his special friend. In fact, He does not know that nature does not do any work with struggle, but does it with affection. Crores of people will be found struggling for employment, but if you go out to find employees, you may not be able to find a single employee. Everyone thinks that every work will be humiliating for me unless I struggle on my own strength. This thing has been kept before you only because in my 22 years of experience, many times I got the opportunity to select the employees and also got the opportunity to check the mentality of the experienced people. Today the society needs such a class which can evaluate itself and also provide a direction to the society. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for reading the chapter till the end. If you want a copy of this book, then go to the link given in the description and fill the form so that this book can reach you easily. Please share the sound flow of this book with your 5 friends and subscribe to this channel. Now see you in the next chapter.